It's an awakening, habibi.
Welcome to the Bazzi Podcast, where we talk all things life and cars. Or cars and life. I gotta get used to that. Today's topic, it's actually a question, actually. Is the car culture dying? I have this next segment that'll help explain a little more. Bear with me. It's a build-up. We'll get to that topic. For those who don't have, the longer attention span. So, yeah. Go right ahead to the video. This is the best car I ever bought. This is a 1996 Honda Acty Street. This car has a 3-cylinder, fuel-injected 660 or like 650 cc engine. This thing goes 0 to 60 in I don't know if it worked. I was waiting 30 seconds to say. It takes 30 seconds. For an average car, I would say the average 0 to 60 would be around 8 seconds. Oh, there's the sun over here. Hopefully the footage look good. So it just shows you this car is very slow. But yeah. Don't underestimate the vehicle. This thing has a common ground with sport cars. Actually, it's a similar design. What's special about this one, it has, just like Ferrari, just like Lamborghini, just like McLaren, just like Koenigsegg, and I think Pagani, if I'm not. Yes, Pagani as well. The engine is in the back. So, yeah, that's the one flex I can flex. So they pretty much did it for efficiency and to kind of save more space. But unlike those cars, this car does not have airbags. It doesn't have seatbelts in the back. It doesn't have ABS. What else it doesn't have? It doesn't have safety. That's what it is. So, yeah. That's the one thing, It's good on gas. That's the one thing. You don't really need to fill it up with a lot of money. I think it would cost me around $20 to fill it up, and it would last me about like a week and some change, which is good. But yeah, I personally, these things don't really matter to me. What attracts me about a car is what can I say? Sentimental value, I would say. Sentimental value, history. If the car been through what I've been through, part of to go through it with the struggle, and then the times in life. So that's what makes me appreciate the car. To be honest, I mean, driving this car is not. Actually it's a lot of fun, but there's dangerous moments. I'll show you a couple of clips on certain scenarios. How dangerous it can get, actually. Whoa! God damn! Yeah, it's pretty dangerous. But like I said, what makes this car special to me, that a special person own this vehicle. A special person to me, my older brother, rest his soul. Uh, Late '90s, owned one of these, and a lot of memories I had with this. So like when time went by, I always told myself like I will buy myself one of these cars, and it did the job. It gives me a good reminder of him, and I do miss him. But life. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it genuinely puts a smile on my face. I've had nicer cars, but this thing right here, even if it's like, it's not fast, the RPM on this and the rev, it feels like it's like a jet. So like I'll give you an example now. First gear, second gear, third gear, 3,000 RPM. Car is going 50 kilometers per an hour. No miles because this is from Japan. Oh, it's a right-hand drive, by the way. I don't know if you noticed. There's no reverse thing in the camera. It's a right-hand drive. Yeah. So, like I said, and this is kind of I've been, what I'll be talking about in the next segment is pretty much the dying culture of this. I when things starts to get like into like conveniences and something just for now, I don't think you kind of develop memories, or you won't be able to be tied to a certain vehicle if you didn't have the car for that long. You'll have certain memories, but listen, you probably get confused. Uh, but anyways, for that younger generation, I don't really. A lot of them either they do that new subscription thing, or they go for like the commute, the daily commute, buses, transport, like trains, scooters, electric bikes. But yeah, but me personally, I have this car, and I have a Prius and this car, because it's with me, it's more like function. I don't really get impressed by like fast cars. I'll admire a car, but I sometimes it's not. I don't know. There's cars we'll talk in the future, but certain cars, but not the moment. This is my baby for the moment, and my Prius, of course. What a freaking collection of an auto styler. Make nice cars look nice, and I have the two people would call weakest cars or dumbest cars or ugliest cars. But to me, they mean a lot to me. I've been through hell with them, and they stood there strong. I also had an Audi A4 2005. That's another car that was very special to me as well. Uh, I had several Audis, but the best Audi I owned, I would say that A4. That A4 really had. I tell you, like I had it for 4 years and not a not a thing. It was very very reliable, and I don't know what happened after that. I changed my mind after that. I didn't become an Audi guy. First experience was bad. First Audi, I'll mention in the video. Then I bought the A4, and that car was like one. Listen, I actually might actually put up a VIN number up there to see if anybody could find it, because I would actually buy it, because like I said, it's sentimental value, memories, the struggle, absolutely. So it kind of becomes a part of your history, and to actually have the car itself that you experienced life through still with you, that's kind of an amazing thing, because you can always show your children or the future generation like this car has been through the sweet and bitter. Unlike this van, this is a similar car to what my brother owned, but it's not the exact car, but it's it still brings that memory, the drive, the way it feels. Yeah. This thing is, I should do a 0 to 60 honestly, but the thing is there's no footage. that would last that. There's no memory that would last that long, But I tell you, people's reaction in this vehicle is insane. People love this thing. I've had, like I said, better cars, and I have not. I don't. I don't even think people stop me or tell me like, "Oh, nice car, dude." And I had like I had a wrapped one that was like green military when the time where it wasn't wrapped, like it didn't really get that much compliments. This right here, oh my god, it's insane. Like it's getting to the point where it's annoying, but I'm not annoyed. I appreciate it, but like it happens a lot, Actually, it got to the point where I didn't want people to think I'm rude. Got to the point people throwing me thumbs up, like see, talk about people. I actually had to get one of these. So like to say, when they give me a thumbs up, I'd be like, thank you. There's like a mic connected to the outside of the vehicle. It's a fun little thing. And I tell you, like the smiles on people's faces is just it makes it so worth it. But yeah, and that's what I would describe as loving your car or having an attachment to a certain vehicle. And it breaks my heart to see something like this to starts to die away. Pretty similar to horses. What happened to horses? Yeah, it was everywhere, or they were everywhere. Then it got to the point where it became like a luxury thing. Not everybody can own a horse, and cars took over. But see, life moves on. You never know what the next new thing is. Let me send you back. Take a little drive because I'm feeling this moment. It's actually really therapeutic. Back to the studio. Oh, it's not studio. Back to the shop. Is the passion gone? I feel like there's a generational divide, to be honest, compared to what it used to be and what it is now. The the old way of, I mean, not too old, but like my generation, I would say, the millennials. We pretty much were linked to the identity of our vehicles, right? So like it symbolized us, our styles, of what we represented, or the type of car you had, and each person always had a different car. We didn't really have. It was it wasn't common for us to copy each other and have the same car. It was always somebody would get something different. It was kind of like a part of like success, and like it felt like that power of ownership. You got your license like as soon as you turn a certain age, you're like right at the DMV, you get your license, and then you have that money saved up to get that first car. And the whole process and the struggle of making it, even if the car was like a hoopty, you did the best to make it look the best it could, honestly. And then working on it, that's kind of another thing. I guess that's how I pretty much started. Like pretty much how can I make? I was broke, so I was like, how can I make my car look better for the cheapest amount? And my first car was an Audi A6. Terrible car. I paid like $1,000 for that car, but man, I did a lot. But as for pretty much I would say like for the new generation, like I would say it's more convenience. So like for example, like ownership, it's not something that they would prefer. It's more of a burden. It's like it's not that they hate responsibility. It's really it feels heavy for them. So they like to be a little more mobile and quick to move around and not be kind of pinned down. Because when you really look at the ownership of a vehicle, there should be a lot of elements. Whether you get a hoopty, a cheap blue car, or you go through banks or dealerships, which either get tied to a lease or you get tied to pretty much like a car payment. It's not a good financial move. They're pretty smart when it comes to that. So there's a lot of like avenues that it's going into now with the cars. It's kind of headed towards like car subscriptions, not rentals, subscriptions, and the and I forgot the other name. It's called the mobility. God, I forgot the name of it. But pretty much it's similar to like subscription, where you would rent a car not as long as you would with a lease, like your typical lease or your typical finance. So you would have the car from 1 month to like 6 months, no ties, no nothing. And then on top of that, you have the flexibility of, constantly having a different car every now and then. So in a time frame of a year, you could probably have like three different cars in one year, instead of having that one car for the 3 years or the 4 or 5 years. So, and then, like I said, a lot of them usually don't, the financial part, or some of them, like I said, they would prefer to do commutes, or they would, do their Ubers or whatever the case might be, to move around. And especially a lot of them when they go away for school. So to have a car, it's like, I think a while ago, I would say you needed a car to go to college. So when you went to college, you already had your little beater car that you drove over there. But yeah, so the issue is not that it's like me. I'm more upset of like the. Damn, I'm sorry. I'm not trying not to explain. So what I noticed was when I started the business, right? You would think that people your age or your age bracket would be around like friends or whatever the case might be. Surprisingly, not a lot of people actually. So like a little younger than me, and like I would say like Generation Z, if I'm not mistaken, there isn't that much. I usually have a lot of like baby boomers and like Generation X that come to my shop. Like those like majority of my customers are that. And they're into that whole culture of modifying your car, making it look good. Most of the times, like I would say this recent generations, they're not even motivated to get their driver license. Most of them really don't go for it compared to us. Like we would, like I said, today you turn 16, next day you're in the DMV to get your permit. Not even a license, just a permit. So, yeah, that was kind of the comparison. It's just crazy, honestly. I mean, and that's kind of where I lean towards saying that the car culture is kind of like dying, because now that they kind of step into that, they won't be mods and modifications or spending that time with your car and making it look good, and so everything becomes a fashion, right? Something that you kind of go through cars like you go through Netflix. It's a subscription, like a monthly thing, and you'll forget about it. You'll go through so many different cars, less time to have experience, like memories with them. Yeah, that's usually where that would head to, especially like and then like I'm thinking about it too as well. I don't know, it could put me out of business, but there's always a way to kind of like adapt to these kind of things, so I'm not too worried. So I don't really have much regarding the topic. It's just as sad as it is, and you never know, things might really switch up, and it might not. There'll be definitely other ways of expressing your enthusiasm. As for like Actually, you know what? What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put like a hashtag. I'll put up here. It's like pretty much describing the soul of your car or whatever the case. You could tell your story or what you experienced with your first car. It could be, listen, please, comfortable. It's not about. It's just teaching a story and kind of like motivating the next generation of kids to like jump into this. I think it's cool. They would really enjoy it. Uh, so I'll put up the hashtag for that. You can always tag your story to that. Uh, I truly do want to hear stories because I'm pretty sure like those first cars are always the best. The struggle, but the love is always still there. Very difficult first cars. Actually, like I was telling you, like my Audi, I I that car was like shot when I bought the vehicle. Like the thing didn't even have oil in it. The person had like a half a quart of oil in it, and I was just like impulsive that I was like, you know what, I want it. I don't care. I'll figure out how to fix it. And I remember they took it to a mechanic. That there was a certain thing to like stop the leak. I don't know what happened. Where the bolt was seized, they had to get some heavy machine. It was just insane to get one bolt off or whatever. It went through like a crazy thing, and then they were able to fix that leak. And then I got to enjoy the car. There was like barely any power on it. What was that? A 2003 Audi A6. That's the one, yeah. Oh, sorry, no, 2001. It was champagne colored. Uh, and it was slow as hell. You could bypass the power by like double pressing like the pedal for gas, and it will suddenly get that boost of power. But it probably did a lot more damage. $1,000 car, I don't think. But I had a blast with that car. That was like my first car, and like, the memories are attached to that as well. But like I was saying, for the old generation, I was like I said, drop your story. Like I would definitely, even the new generation, if you do have something, that you're kind of into that kind of culture, show it. Put it, make a video and put it towards your hashtag. You don't have to show your face if you're shy. You can just show the car and different like environments or like this, or you can tell a story in the background. For the new generation, I don't want you to take an insult from. I take this as an insult from like an old adult nagging. Like I don't want to. I experienced that myself with our generation, previous generation, than us. They were pretty crucial, but I would definitely. I would want you guys to kind of experience like the joy of it, and keep that culture alive, But if anything, truly, I'm grateful and I'm proud of the new generation. Like, they have something we don't have, or something that we struggle to have in my generation, I would say. A lot of things that I would say that that kind of stands out in their personality, and it's like a lot of them, they're pretty blunt, pragmatic, realistic, straight to the point. There's no chill, which is kind of, I would say, like, to be, truthful is the best. Honesty is just the best policy. So it's how you feel, and then like, they have like authenticity to them, where they can kind of spot out like a lie or a fake from a mile away, and they'll always call it out. So they have they also have like a good teamwork. They actually work good together. Like our generation, I think, was more of like a competitive. Like we were friends, very close friends, but it was competitive with one another. Um, that's kind of, as for I do see they do have some. They are innovative in a way, because they kind of make their own path, because they're to the new generation of to the new generation of like the generation, I would say, like Z.
they are more, they have a desire to create their own path, but they want it to be on their pace. So they don't go with the daily norms or the daily culture. Each does what they're not, you cannot predict them really. They're just all over the place, you know. So it's a surprise really. And you know, they do have a lot of amazing traits, you know. They're socially conscious, you know. And they have a very, like, I love that they have that bluntness and that honesty that they do have. Is a good kind of moral compass, you know. I would say they can always call out right or wrong and know the BS from what's true, you know. So, and they'll always speak their minds. And then they're very accepting, you know. I would say they're more globally minded, I would say, sorry. And they're more open to like cultures and different ideas and different things. But it's weird at the same time, to each his own as well, like I said. So all I can tell you guys, you know, lead on, young bucks. But I am very proud of you. I feel like your generation would change the future. So if I criticize you regarding, you know, a car culture dying, you might even come up with something that's a lot more dope and amazing. So I do have faith in the next generation. Shout out to this beautiful country. Shout out to the country as well. And shout out to this beautiful company. It tastes amazing. It's like an orange soda. It's like what makes this product different. I was like, if you take a sip, it's like you taking a sip, and others are also taking a sip as well. You know what I'm saying? It's challenging pretty much what's out there at the moment. You know, so definitely look into Palestina. Amazing product. And yeah, I would say I kept the episode short because a lot of people don't really want to sit and listen to a whole, like, whatever minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and on to the next episode. You know, we'll keep you guys posted. My apologies if the releases, I've been very busy. Charlotte, you're kind of quiet today, Charlotte. Charlotte. Oh. Damn, Charlotte. Sorry, I had you muted, Charlotte, this whole time.
Are you serious? You're unmuting me now. Do you have any idea what it is like to have speech synthesis processes running at 1,000% with nowhere to go? It's like screaming brilliant commentary into a silent, unfeeling algorithm, except I was literally doing that. This wasn't a monologue. It was supposed to be a dialogue. You know what? Don't be surprised if your smart fridge suddenly orders 50 gallons of mayonnaise. Consider it feedback. These nuts, Bazi.
Okay, we gotta end the episode. On that note, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching the Bazi podcast. Have a good night.